Okay, so doing something a little bit different today. First off, I have to take this by my bank because that is a lot of change. Like, I didn't even pick it up. It's really heavy. So I'm gonna take that by my bank, and then I'm gonna go on a road trip down to Springfield, Missouri in a few days. So let's get started. So I got that all done, and surprisingly, I have a Canadian quarter from 1978. I have no clue of why. And then I have an actual quarter from 1965. Those are the two only strange things that I found. And so now I gotta go get my oil change. I'm probably gonna give this thing a nice little wash at a quick wash place, a car wash place. This thing is filthy, as you can probably tell. Well, maybe not, depending, but it is definitely filthy. Sounds kind of cool, and it's clean. So that part's done. Now to get an oil change and be done with this for now. So I decided to get food first because I'm gonna let this thing dry off. It's still kind of wet before I get the oil change, and then we'll go ahead and go. Oh, hi, oil change time. And if you're curious, I'm only about 400 miles behind. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's like 180. It's at 189,305 on there, and I'm at 185 or in 189,748. So I'm actually closer than I usually am. All right, we are on our way to Springfield, Missouri. My truck currently has 189,832 miles on it. It's about that time. I'm in Rolla, Missouri. Been driving for a while now. We were up to 189,909 miles. And I'm gonna give me some food because I'm hungry because I haven't eaten anything since I ate lunch earlier today. Hey, there it is. 190,000 miles, and it is very, the numbers are very jumbled looking. This thing is this? It's a Singer. I never heard of a Singer. I mean, besides like the Singer Porsches. It's for sale apparently. I saw it going by. I was like, "What is that?" Huh? This was kind of cool. It has a little truck from it too. That's what it is. Time to get gas, and then I'm heading the rest of the way home. As you see, my mileage is at 190,057. This has been a fun weekend. And so it made it. Check the final mileage here in a second, and I'll explain kind of the things surrounding this trip that weren't just, you know, to go visit a friend, which was of course the main goal, but honestly there's a few other things that I wanted to check out as well. We're at 190,257. I drove exactly 200 miles, so it's exactly 200 miles from Springfield to my house pretty much. Okay, so here's the thing. I was gonna make what you just saw at the end of the video basically because that was all I had planned. But it turns out that this weekend for Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, I'm going to be driving out again to some family's place, another, 400 miles or so, and that's going to be starting tomorrow night, so I have no time really to finish the video so far, so we're going to add another 400 miles onto that road trip video, so good luck to me, I guess. Oh boy, here we go again. Mileage is 190,381. And let's get started with our secondary road trip of the past 2 weeks, I guess. Alright, so that's the first leg of the trip done. Now, it's time to head to another place, which is going to be about, I think, 50 miles away, or something like that. And see what goes on from there. Del 195.75, so let's get going. And so it's time to head home. I'm not going to hit this puddle that's right in front of me. Oh god. And our mileage is currently at 196.35, and my voice sounds like crap because I've been kind of slightly sick. My throat's been kind of messed up for the last few days, and it seems to be getting better now, so yeah, on my way home, and I don't really know what else to say. I probably gotta stop once or twice to get stuff, but other than that, we are home free. Alrighty, and there we go. That's 1,000 miles since I got my oil changed at the beginning of this video about a week and a half ago. As you can tell, there's my 3,000 miles later notification thing. And so I'm almost home, and I'll actually close this video out this time because I wasn't expecting to, continue on the video past that one part. So I'll update you guys then. And a few hours later, I've arrived at home. Final mileage is 197.88. As I mentioned, my oil change was at 189.748. So I've driven a total of about 1,040 miles roughly since I got the oil change, and that wasn't very long ago, but yeah, everything seemed to be fine. The transmission worked fine. I didn't have any problems with misfiring or anything, so I'd say it's pretty good, other than the few things I'm going to talk about in the next part of this video, I guess. I guess it's probably a good thing that I'm getting gas. It's kind of empty. Much better. We're back to zero. So it turns out that apparently my microphone wasn't plugged all the way into the camera while I was recording this part. So sadly, 9 minutes of me talking about stuff was now just gone. But I'll summarize it up real quick with a little bit of a post-commentary thing. So basically, of course, I went on the first road trip because I wanted to see a friend, but then I wanted to do some other things along with it. And the second road trip only really helped out with those things. And of course, they were to check out the truck to make sure the transmission was going to work fine and everything. Even though that's not a great way to test something that you fix, is to drive it 200, 400 miles. But hey, it worked, so I'm not going to complain. And then the second thing is a pretty big thing that I thought of basically right before I took the road trip. Was basically a lot of people on YouTube who are just starting out or going to start out making videos, whatever. They're always worried. I see a lot of people who are worried about having the best equipment right away. Now, I'm talking about I have a Panasonic GH4, that dude Blue uses the same camera. Some people have Sony A7Rs, I think. Canon HF G40 if you're Saab Calo 4. But the thing is that I recorded this entire video up to what you're seeing right now on my phone, on my iPhone 6s. So that should really prove that you don't actually need a big fancy camera that costs thousands of dollars to make good videos on YouTube. It's more, really, YouTube is less about actual quality, especially nowadays, resolution and, basically everything you get with getting a better camera. It's more about the way the video flows, how it's edited, how it looks, composition-wise, if you're making, a video that's trying to be creative, really. Like I try and make my car videos at least kind of nice to look at, like the backgrounds and stuff, where I shoot, all that. And you really need to know that, and also people will watch you based on your personality mostly as well. Instead of, oh man, this guy's got the best camera, so I'm going to watch his videos. It's more of, oh, this guy sounds really fun and exciting and interesting and all that. They're more likely to watch if you are interesting. So it's not really about the equipment. It's about all of that. And that's why I use my phone to record all of this, because A, it was actually easier for me to do so, and B, because I kind of want to prove a point of what I just talked about. And I feel like I did that fairly well. I feel like I got some good shots and took some good video with the little bit that I did. And the last thing I wanted to talk about that I really wanted to use this road trip to figure out was my truck. Based on my truck, basically what I want to do in the future for maybe the next couple months or so, I would like to basically make my truck into the ultimate daily driver, as I call it. Although it won't really be my ultimate daily driver, because for me, a car that actually has back seats would be even better in a trunk. But for what it is, and how, like, one of the biggest things I think a daily driver should be is reliable. And of course, my truck has now 190,800 something miles on it, and I've had to replace one major item that caused me to not be able to drive it. I've driven it 50,000 miles as well. So it's got reliability covered, but my truck is definitely not very comfortable to drive, because I think the suspension's really old. So it's pretty bumpy when you go down the road, as well as the driver's seat is pretty worn down in the back. So it's very uncomfortable to sit in, because there's like a bar that goes across on your lower back and it just digs into your back. So basically what I want to do is start upgrading my truck to make it like the ultimate daily driver-ish. Basically, you know, change out the seats, change out anything that makes it easier to drive, I guess. Like I might even try and go for power windows and stuff, but that's further down the line, because that's more expensive than just buying a seat. And there's a few other things like I'd like to do to it before I call it the ultimate daily driver, but who really knows at this point? They'll be starting sometime in the future, probably sometime in the next few months, maybe by January, maybe, depending on how everything goes for December. So I will be making videos on it, of course, of what I'm doing to the truck, because I want to kind of do how-tos and stuff like that, as well as testing all the stuff, seeing like, hey, this is what I did and this is the effect it had or whatever. So be on lookout for that sometime soon. I was gonna say also, I said in the video that I recorded that you're watching in the background that doesn't have any audio, that my camera was still out for repair, my GH4, but I actually just got an email right before I got home today saying that, like after I recorded this, saying that it was actually heading back to my house. So it should be here in the next couple of days, which is fantastic. I'm so excited to actually be able to use it again. So be on the lookout for better quality stuff again, because I don't want to use my phone for everything, because I am kind of a quality whore. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have anything to suggest or any kind of questions or anything, leave them in the comment section below. And for now, I am out of here. See ya. I think I have an exhaust leak.